Welcome to Rock Your Block, where we highlight individuals who are making an impact in our community. I'm your host, Larry Laws. On today's segment of First Home Alliance, we have with us an aspiring young man who has done remarkable things in our local community and is very optimistic about his future. He is an artist bred here in Washington, D.C. area. He has so far completed 3 cohesive projects, My CD, the Commencement and Street Sampler, which are located in Apple Music and on Google Play. He is just now beginning to chart his career and plans to make an impact not only in his present space, but in the nonprofit arena and throughout the industry. He wrote and produced the jingle for First Home Alliance, the financial literacy education experience, known as FLEX program. Currently, he serves as the events coordinator for First Home Alliance, and it's a pleasure to have him on our show today. Please welcome Vinnie.
Larry.
All right.
How you doing?
All right. Vinnie, well, thanks for coming in today.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Yes. And how was your trip in?
The trip in was pretty well, dealing with the DMV commute. It's around the time everyone's getting off is Friday. So it's pretty cool. I found it very easy to get here.
Yes. Well, you know, I'm so glad that we reconnected and got started back. I know you're doing some great things in the community with your own projects. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing.
A lot of things that I have going on in the community. I'm part of an organization we call ourselves the Lost Generation. Pretty much paying an ode to Gertrude Stein after World War I. She made an ode that the generation was indeed lost. Our organization is not saying that we are lost, but we're helping ourselves find our way and helping others chart their course as well. Pretty much our foundation is music, video, online marketing, and things of that nature. And we plan on putting all those things together and helping each other out.
Okay. Now, I know you worked with a big team with First Home Alliance.
Definitely.
And you've done some work by yourself. So are you working with a team?
Yeah, I have a team of individuals that I work with. I have a guy that does online marketing. His name is Don Suave. I have a partner of mine. We pretty much bounce ideas off each other. We call him Mr. IP. And somewhat of a videographer. His name is B. James. And we have this thing that we tease him. Everybody wants to be like James behind the camera. So have a decent team. And also with First Home Alliance, you guys have a great team as well. A cohesive unit that works and puts a lot of great things together in the community.
Yes. And before we go too far, just give us a little, chart a little path to where you are here.
Oh, man. I'm originally from the DMV area. I left for a duration of time and came back for various reasons. And I wanted to chart my course and my career here with music. This is where I fell in love with entertainment, music, television, and things of that nature. So I wanted to make my stance here. So I spent the last solid year since 2013 really being solid and not really wanting to move or go anywhere else to really chart my course. And I found that the DMV is definitely open to opportunities as far as the artistic community, and I'm looking forward to making an impact.
Okay. And I know you've done some different things for us, and also I'd seen some of your work in reference to some grant writing. Right. You've written a few passages, but why music? Why are you drawn to that?
Music is my passion because it allows me to freely express myself. As a kid growing up, it was troublesome for me to express myself. Even the way we're sitting here talking now, it was hard for me to communicate a lot of things that I was feeling. So with music, it allowed me to freely express myself without any restraints, without anything holding me back, and then it just gravitated and got a lot better over time. So I'm nowhere near where I need to be, but I'm still a work in progress.
Yes. And so you have some work now, and so where are you storing this information?
All my information is on my website, vinnieboy.com, VINNIEBOI.com. Is where they can gain access to me and who I am and what I'm doing as far as my music. Anything as far as First Home Alliance, you can find that at firsthomealliance.org. I'm usually behind the scenes when it comes to things with you guys. But
yes, actually, we've done some work. I think it's maybe 6 years ago.
Yeah, that Flex campaign.
Yes, and actually, I don't think. Well, I got some photos of you in the studio. Right. But you know, we never saw you on the video.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was behind the scenes. Like I said, that wasn't about me at all. It was about the kids, promoting financial literacy experience and having that showcase more so than what I do as far as production or writing. That wasn't what I was there for. I was there for First Home Alliance. I was there for the kids and making sure they had a great experience and also to introduce them to financial literacy.
Yes. Do you remember I was trying to come up with some music or something myself? I said, we need to set up this little thing here for the kids for this project. Yeah. And I wanted, what was the song that I was thinking? It was something back in the 70s.
I can't remember the song, honestly, but I knew that it wouldn't have worked for the time and having the kids' attention drawn to that. And pretty much they were actually drawn to the song that we did now. Everyone wanted that one role to say financial literacy, education experience,
Yes.
which for me was a great part of the experience to get kids involved in financial literacy because it starts there.
Yes.
As a kid, I wish I was more involved with financial literacy. I didn't know anything about it growing up. I worked several jobs in high school and still didn't know anything about financial literacy until I became more of an adult, more responsible with my finances.
Yes. Now, you as an adult, we think about, finances and things of this sort, but we were trying to get a group of kids to actually be energetic, some movements and things of that sort, and sing this song. I think you took it home for like a weekend. You came back and you had this beat. Even before we put the words to it, you came in with this beat. How did you develop that?
I produce a little bit on the side. I make a little bit of instrumentals, is what we call them as far as instrumental, and I produced the track based around what I thought you needed. It had the right amount of energy. I think it fit the times where the people involved would have liked the flow and the vibe of the instrumental, and it worked well because Pepsi is a popular brand. So I felt like with that, having a vibrant, youthful sound would help the kids not only be involved, but anyone else participating or listening to it would be involved as well.
Yes, and then not only once we came up with the music, the beat, we put the words to it. We got the kids into the office in the conference room. We
and
practiced.
Kept them still.
Yes, we
and
fed them a
involved.
lot of pizza too.
And soda.
And soda.
And soda. And then they even showed us how to dance a little bit. I think,
yes, they did. Yes, but I was really amazed. I mean, I put words to the beats and everything like that.
Right.
But we got in the studio, Vinnie.
Right.
And it had I guess you call him the engineer.
Engineer, yes.
And you sort of like he had to move over and let you put your hands on the board.
Yeah, some of I think sometimes when you work with certain engineers, they don't have necessarily the vision or the direction, or they're not able to encompass the vision. Some engineers, not all. Some engineers just want to press a button, but I prefer an engineer that takes control of the board and actually hears your vision through, sees your vision, and able to implement that without you even having to touch the board. But sometimes you have to engage with the engineer to kind of give them more of an idea of what it is that you want, as far as sound, as far as quality, because sometimes engineers may have their own set and what they think they want to hear and what they think it should sound like, opposed to bringing them to your vision and letting them see what it is that you want to hear as well. It's a learning experience all across the board.
Yes. Well, you did an excellent job there. And we got to get that come back on when we can actually maybe show the progress that, some flashes of putting that song together.
Cool.
And it's still in the works today. We have a flex program, the Financial Education Experience.
Nice.
Matter of fact, we just did a series of faith-based organizations where we delivered financial literacy in D.C.
Wow.
And we called that program for that series Flex DC.
Okay.
It was
nice.
Flex DC.
Nice.
And so, yes, it's still live, and I appreciate your work on there.
No worries. I thank you.
Yes. Now, you have a knack for giving. I mean, where did that come from?
I would say that came from my mom more so than anything. I can't say it came from me at all. My mom had a passion for community outreach. She would be at food banks and she would pull me in and say, "Oh, well, I'm over here. I need you to come see me." And then next thing you know, I'm passing out things at a food bank. Or that's actually how I met you. She was doing some volunteer work up in an office, and I think she told you, said, "Larry, you need to work with my son."
Yes.
And it was just one of those things that it's innate in me to give. I have a heart like my mom, I believe.
Yes. Well, we've done everything from the outreach in the community to setting up classes, and you're attending some of the classes.
Definitely,
as well.
I'm just starting. It's been something I've been wanting to do for a while. I think right now is opportunistic for me to actually become involved in that.
And tell us about the class that you recently attended.
It was very informational. You had some great speakers come out, educated me primarily on, I think, for me, it was the most impactful part was credit history and the importance of following up on your credit as soon as you either see something either going wrong or see some type of change in it. And that to me hit home because I know there's a lot of things I've been working on to get towards, and my action hasn't been as precise as it needed to be.
Yes. Well, setting that, having that spending plan, setting a goal and then following through it.
Definitely.
Yes. Now, this new area that you're working in the nonprofit is event planning.
Right.
Yes. Your title is event coordinator.
Yes.
And so, what's your interest in that?
It allows me to be engaging in the community. It allows me to meet new networks, new people, also to engage in conversation and learn from other people of what I need to do versus what I'm not already doing correct. So it's a learning experience for me. And anytime you can learn, you can grow. And today I was talking to one of my friends and we were making reference to being appreciative. And I'm appreciative of my situations now, so my value can appreciate over time. And I'm learning to do that with everything that I do. And First Home Alliance has given me opportunity to do such.
Yes. Well, I'm glad that we are here to provide that opportunity, and you taking advantage of it as well.
Definitely. I thank you guys.
Yes. And so we're going to take a break. But before we go, I would like to remind you that First Home Alliance is a HUD-approved housing counseling agency serving the National Capital Area. If you're a first-time home buyer or a homeowner in need of mortgage assistance, please visit the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development website to find a HUD-approved agency in your area. When we return, we'll be talking to Vinnie about his plans of the future. We'll be right back after the break. Stay tuned. The combined federal campaign and United Way Federation impacts quality of life nationally and across the globe. First Home Alliance, a community-based nonprofit housing counseling agency approved by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to provide comprehensive housing assistance programs to help low to moderate income and veteran families. First Home Alliance is a CFC-approved charity and proud member of the United Way of the National Capital Area. Welcome back. You're watching Rock Your Block. This is First Home Alliance segment, and I'm your host, Larry Laws. Here with me today, our guest, Vinnie. Vinnie, before the break, we was talking about your event coordination.
Right.
Yes, and coordinating this event, there's a portion of that I guess not, everyone on my team, the members of our team, very comfortable with.
Right.
And one of those is actually maybe calling a station,
right,
and then asking them for certain things that you need to promote your event.
Right.
Talk to us about the work that you've been doing lately.
It's like I said, it's been pretty interesting because you get to have conversations with people who are actually involved in the business of radio or television or whatnot, and they're people like everyone else, just as well as you guys do. Great things at First Home Alliance. They do great things with their station, and they actually look for people sometimes to ask them these questions so they can direct you to the appropriate locations. And so far, my response has been well. Even when I've submitted something that wasn't exactly what they needed, they responded back, say, well, this is how we need it. If you need any more assistance, let us know.
Okay. So maybe I guess you're speaking their language.
I would guess I speak somewhat their language, or I'm speaking the language that they understand.
Okay, all right. And so why is it that on the say a PSA, you have these different ones? You have a 10, you have a 30 seconds, you have a 60 second. Why are we giving them more than just one? Why don't we just give them a 30 second?
Right, because it gives them options. If they have 10 seconds that they could allot for the PSA, they can use that 10-second slot. If they had a 30-second, which typically is the standard 30 to 60 second, if it's something epic and someone has that slot secured, it could go for 60, but primarily it's the 10 and 30-second opportunity that most stations take advantage of or use for a PSA. And it helps them if you already have it presented, so they already know what to put in place. It's very minimal work for them, and they already can just fill it in the spot.
Yes. Now, before you actually send these PSAs out, you actually came up with a plan, and you had a certain number of stations in this area.
Right.
How did you go about, breaking that list down to say, I'm going to send it to these?
Right. For me, it was not really a breakdown of a list. It was just start at the top and work all the way down. Call every last station that you possibly can. Find a point of contact where I can send some information to. And if they don't have the information, I find the information and still forward it to someone at the station. So therefore, I'm reaching someone at some point in time. Either 10 people I reach out to, maybe 2 may say, okay, we can do a PSA, or we have an event calendar you can post here. But the more opportunity you seek after, the more opportunity you can expect to be successful in.
Okay. And I think one of the other media outreach you're going to use, you're going to look at a press release.
Definitely.
And what's your plan for that?
I'm actually excited about that element because TV production is an old passion of mine, and it allows me to communicate with that realm and figure out more of how to approach that situation and give me feedback on what I can and cannot do as well. So it's just, I'm looking for a learning experience and something to help build me up a bit more.
Okay. And so the media piece seems so easy. It's something that's come natural for you. But you actually went out and did the site review and things of that sort. How did that go?
Site review. You mean on the location of
Where
the
you
website?
want to look at the venue?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was actually pretty cool. Because you actually can see the vision, like working directly with First Home Alliance. I do a lot, like I said, behind the scenes type things, and being able to see the event before the event takes place, and actually being able to imagine how it's going to be, and then once you actually see it come into fruition, it actually makes everything come together. That's the reason I think I like to work with you guys, because it's a plan, and then it's the execution of the plan, and once the plan is executed, then the relief of like, man, we made that happen, it actually went through, and we actually accomplished that. That's the icing on the cake for me.
Yes, and a lot of the work that you do is actually volunteer,
Right.
and a lot of people don't understand that.
Right,
You know,
right.
what would you say maybe someone that have those talents,
Right.
you know, maybe there is a cause that they believe in.
Right.
How could they use those talents? They may not have money to give, but with that talent, how could you speak to someone in reference to sharing their talents with a nonprofit?
I would recommend, if it's something that you truly are passionate about, to find how you can use that passion to help someone else who is passionate. Because somewhere along the line, those passions are going to come together, and there will be opportunity for you to show what you can do. And I noticed with First Home Alliance, I've been able to showcase a lot of my talents and things that I can do as far as multimedia and things of that nature without having to impose on your vision or impose on mine. It allows both of us to work together cohesively to show a positive gain, and I'm all about that.
Okay, and so now I'm going to get to basically ask you what's on the horizon.
Oh,
where are you going? Yeah, and before we get into, I know you have these talents that you're going to go out there and spread those things. But in reference to the things that you learned from the nonprofit, you say you're going to put some of those things in action.
Right.
In reference to, I know, maybe reviewing your credit report, you know, quarterly and things like that.
Right,
What are you planning on doing from what you learned the nonprofit gave you? What are you planning on doing with those things
I'm
first?
executing those things in a lot of the musical organizations that I have going on, and things that I'm learning behind the scenes to be more of a behind the scenes assets, with also me being on the forefront with my music and my organization. I'm working with the Lost Generation. So it just creates more of an opportunity for me to have more of a structured mindset going forward in a field that's, it may not seem so structured all the time. It may seem fun, or it may seem extravagant in some of the things that are going on or taking place, but it's more of a grounding factor for me to let people know that there's real work that has to be done in order to achieve success in music or anything else.
Okay. Now, you know, setting yourself some goals, you know, in reference to that vision that you have. You know, sometimes I think look at the target. You know, look at the point where you're trying to reach. If you had to, you know, look forward for, say, 5 to 10 years, what do you see the projects and you at that point?
In 5 to 10 years, realistically, I see me at a place where I'm able to give back to youthful organizations, or someone such as First Home Alliance, or being able to do some type of social cause. Hopefully by that time in my career, I'll be successful enough where I would be able to bring the appropriate awareness to whatever is necessary at that time, and have the experience from working with nonprofits like yourself to know how to organize one of my own that can benefit the community as well. 5 to 10 years down the line, that's just a small piece of my 5 to 10 year plan. I have a lot of things on my 5 to 10 year plan.
Okay, and so what are some of the projects that, you know, small projects, or I may call it small, but some projects that you have, you know, in the queue that we can look forward to?
Right now, we just started our YouTube channel last week, The Lost Generation, and pretty much it features content involving myself and my plight as an artist. A lot of behind the scenes. We got something called the Lost Files. We have something we call the AMA, which is pretty much an interview type concept, which is pretty much on the fly. I feel as though it's an innovative concept. And my music, pretty much. And that's pretty much what we're using as our platform to catapult not only myself as an artist, but everyone that's involved in the process as well.
Okay, and you told me a little bit, you know, if you could share that with, in reference to the interview process, can you break that down a little bit? I think that's very interesting. If you can share that.
It's not too much I can share for that. It's just the energy that I like to bring forth when I do my interviews. It's completely candid. I like to have like a conversation with an individual and bring the camera into who the person is, more so than the title of the person, or what is the person, what do you think that person is, or what do you think he's about. No, I set up the interview to the point where it's just random. It's completely random in every way, shape, and form, where all the questions that come out are on the fly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that's all I can give up.
Yeah, that's all you give
up. And the concept we call it Ask Me Anything. But they don't ask me anything, I ask them anything. So that's pretty much the premise of the show.
Okay. And how many of these interviews have you done so far?
So far, we're like 6 in. We've only released 1. We have another one planned to release next week. But we have 6 of them shot already.
Okay. And how can the public view these things?
If you go to VinnieBoy.com, VinnieBoi.com, and then it will probably have a bridge there to get to the YouTube channel. I don't necessarily have the YouTube link, but VinnieBoy.com facilitates everything that I'm working on.
Okay. And are you looking at some additional outlets that to be able to get this out to the public?
Yeah, music, radio. I've worked with an independent radio station over time. So just reaching out to the area, anyone in the DMV that I've been working with as far as music in the community, I'm doing outreach for myself because it's pretty much, I have to show my worth and that I'm actually working on this for people to really see that I am. And most people think music success comes overnight, but really it's a long grind. I put it in comparison to someone getting their master's degree in college. There's a lot of time and money invested in creating a project before it even hits the mainstream where people even recognize it as a tangible product. So I've been investing a lot of times. You can say I'm working on getting my master's in the music industry.
Okay. And what are you using as your brand?
Myself, Vinnie Boy. That's who I am. Vinnie is my name. A lot of people call me Vinnie. Vinnie Boy is the brand that I am, but the Lost Generation is the platform that we're using to catapult everything that we are doing in the realm of entertainment. Okay.
And is there any particular market segment that you're trying to, a niche there that you aiming at?
Oh man, a lot of people like the way that I interview. They love my interview portion. I really like the Lost Files. For me, the Lost Files are the most important element, not important element, but it's a great element for me because it shows the work behind the music. It shows the everyday life behind the music. It shows the everyday interactions behind the music. And for me, that's the part that I like about it, the Lost Files, because we get to compel and edit a lot of different footage from things that we've captured over time.
And what would be the thing that you want people to take away once they see your work?
Follow your dreams. That's always been my plight. I think if you put your mind to anything, you can accomplish it. Just stay steadfast and work on it as much as you possibly can. Work with nonprofits, work with organizations that are going to help grow not only yourself, but your craft. And I think you go far.
Okay. And could you just give us a little bit more information exactly where we can find your work?
Yeah, you can find me at VinnieBoy.com. Like I said, that's VinnieBoi.com. If you want to shoot me an email, you can find me at Vinnie@firsthomealliance.org.
All right, Vinnie. Well, I want to say thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, Larry, for having me.
All right, and keep up the good work.
Definitely will. All
right, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this interview with Vinnie and was intrigued by the things he has accomplished so far. If you would like to contact Vinnie, email him or check out his website. Now it's time to check out our inbox and see how we can help rock your block. This is where we share a recent question sent to us from you, our viewing audience, about financial stability and housing. Today's question comes from Stafford, Virginia. When is the best time to purchase a home? This question comes up quite often from potential first-time home buyers, and the answer I often give is when the time is right for you. What do I mean by that? Well, the time is right. One is that you have made a plan, and now it's time to plan your work. One, you want to ensure that you have your financials in order. You have your credit to the best that it can be, and then you form a team. You form a team with a housing advisor, which could be a housing counselor, a realtor, a lender, and all professionals have an advisor. So I definitely encourage you to have an advisor and not purchase a home on your own. And the main item is get the education first. So attend a first-time home buyer workshop. Again, I am Larry Laws of First Home Alliance, and it has been an absolute pleasure sharing with you our mission and highlighting individuals that are providing services that impact our community. If you have questions about financial literacy or how to make your dream of homeownership tangible, send your questions to our inbox at help@firsthomealliance.org. Be sure to tune in to the next show to see if your question was selected to be shared. You can easily get more information about our services by visiting our website at firsthomealliance.org. Thank you for watching today's segment of First Home Alliance, and we look forward to seeing how you rock your block.
Flex Boot Camp is a pilot program. We are seeking applicants that are serious about getting into financial shape and willing to take on the Financial Literacy Education Experience Challenge. We ask candidates for a 12-month commitment of financial management conditioning. We offer 10 financial education modules augmented by monthly confidential one-on-one financial coaching sessions. We are committed to help you reach your financial goal. Your success is our success. If you are interested, please visit our website for more information.